Rock around, that's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky, 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 tricky. It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky, 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 tricky.
But not math.
Not
Math is
math.
not tricky.
No.
No.
You guys got this. We're excited. So I am DJ Tay.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
And I am Spin Master Traster.
Yeah. All right. So we are coming to you, Tap Tigers, with our study guide video for Unit 1. So I'm going to dive right in and do number 1. It says, what is the greatest common factor of 24 and 30? So there are 2 ways we can do this. We can do this with the listing method. So I'm going to show you that first, just in case you prefer that. So I'm going to write my 24 and my 30. Then I'm going to go ahead and write all of the factors of each of those numbers. So 24, 1 can go into there, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Okay? And now for 30, you have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Okay? So now we're going to circle all of the common factors that they have. They both share 1s and 2s and 3s. Then they share 6. And that is where it stops. So the greatest common factor for this equals 6 for 24 and 30. So now let me show you how to do it with the ladder method. I'm going to write my 24 and my 30. Let's see, I know that 2 can go into both of those. 2 goes into 24 12 times. 2 goes into 30 15 times. Now I'm going to, I know 3 can go into both of these. And 3 can go into 12 4 times. And 3 can go into 15 5 times. There's nothing else I can pull out of 4 and 5. No other factors, so that's where I'm going to put my multiplication symbol. And the GCF is on the left. So I'm going to circle the left here. And that's 2 times 3. And we know that equals 6. So either way, your answer should be 6. All right, so for number 2, Miss Traster's rabbit eats 3/4 of a pound of food each day. If Mackenzie, we're going to say that's her kid, if she buys a 15-pound bag of food, how many days will she be able to feed her rabbit?
Thank you
All
for
right.
this question too, Miss Tay. They were all asking me if I had a rabbit. I do not.
Awesome. All right, so let's see. So it's asking me to, I have a 15-pound bag. That's what I'm going to be splitting up. So I'm going to put my 15 first, and that means this is my equation, 15 divided by 3/4. All right, and we know that we can start off by putting our 15 over 1 to make it a fraction, makes it easier for us. And now we're going to do our keep change flip. We keep our 15 over 1, change it to multiplication, and flip our 3/4 to become 4 over 3. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. Okay, 15 times 4, that's 60. 1 times 3, that's 3. Remember that this line means division, so 60 divided by 3 equals 20. So that means that this rabbit can eat for 20 days.
Hey, Miss Tay.
Yeah.
Could they have done anything before multiplying straight across to make this problem a little easier for them?
They could have done some cross cancellation.
They could have.
My kids haven't learned that, but let's talk about that. So, yep, let's use purple. So you could have cross canceled. Let me show you how. I know that 15 and 3, that they have a common factor, and that's 3. So 3 goes into 3 one time, and then 3 goes into 15 5 times. So now I can multiply straight across. 5 times 4 equals 20. 1 times 1 equals 1. So I have still 20 days. Quick and easy. All right. So now number 3, 6 divided by 1/8. So I'm going to put my 6 over 1. Then I'm going to work on my keep, change, flip. I'm keeping my first fraction, I'm changing it to multiplication, and I am flipping 1/8 to 8 over 1. Then I multiply straight across. 6 times 8 is 48, and 1 times 1 is 1. So I have 48 divided by 1, that equals 48. Okay, let's look at number 4. At Marvel's Movies grand opening, every 6th customer will receive a free drink and every 10th customer will receive a free movie rental. What number customer will be the first to receive both free gifts? So we have a couple key words in here. This is asking us for every 6th, and this is asking us for every 10th, and we have both. All right. So we know that this means that we are getting more and more customers, which means we are multiplying. So we are trying to find the LCM.
Yep, I was gonna say first kind of gives you a hint.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, yep, first is a key word too. So let's look at the LCM of our 6 and 10. Remember, LCM is least common multiple. Yeah, so we are multiplying. All right, so I can do this two ways, the listing method and the ladder method. So I'm going to start with the listing method. 6 times 1 is 6, times 2 is 12, times 3 is 18, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to stop about there. Now I'm going to do my 10s. Hey, I found a match. I actually can stop. So I found that they both share 30. That is the smallest common multiple that both of them share. So this means that the 30th customer will get both of those free gifts. Now let me show you how to do that with the ladder method. I'm going to write my 6 and my 10. And I know that 2 can go into both of those. So now I'm going to draw my next level. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 10 5 times. I have no common factor besides 1 for 3 and 5. So that's where my multiplication symbol is going. So we know that GCF is on the left, but LCM is all of them. All right, so like a nice little L there, we have our LCM. So that means we are doing 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, so I know my 2 times 3 gives me 6, and then times 5, that gives me a total of 30. And we see that we still have 30th customer. All right, guys, so let's look at number 5. It says that Tay bought a 16-pound turkey for 75 cents per pound. How much money did she pay for the turkey? All right, so that's a big old whopping turkey. It must have a lot of family coming over for the holiday. So I have to multiply here because I know the turkey 16 pounds. I need to know how much it's going to cost all together. So I am going to multiply. Now, remember when we are multiplying with decimals, we just line the numbers up. We don't care where the decimal points fall. So I'm going to line these up. And now I'm going to do some multiplication. All right, so 5 times 6, got my 30. 5 times 1 plus 3, got my 8. So I am done with my 5s. Now I'm going to put my placeholder 0. All right, so now I'm going to start with my 7. 7 times 6, that is my 42. Put my 4 up here. 7 times 1, that's 7 plus 4. All right, now I'm going to add these bad boys together. All right, so I'm not done yet though. So I still have to take care of this whole decimal issue because we know I didn't pay $1,200 for a 16-pound turkey. So I have to count how many numbers the decimal places after the decimal. And 16 is a whole number, so it has no decimal places. And 75 has 1, 2. So that means I'm going to move my decimal 2 times. 1, 2. And that's what it's going to be placed. So I spent $12 on that big old turkey. All right, so flip the page.
I think it's time.
Oh, you think it's time?
I think it's time.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's give them their code. Let's give
All
them their
right,
code.
so we have code number 1. Code number 1. Remember, you are collecting codes. It is the first letter of your last name. First letter of your last name. So let me show you those codes. First letter of your last name. All right. I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, so
I may have a
mine,
new DJ name this year.
I know it's going to be awesome. So my DJ name for my code number 1 is DJ. Whoop whoop. All right, and what's yours?
Mine is Master.
All right.
Code is Master.
Nice.
Master.
All right. So we are going to go back to our study guide. Let's look at number 6. Number 6 is 50 divided by 12. 50 divided by 12. So this is not a decimal one. This is just asking us for basic long division. So let's go ahead and set up our problem. All right, so I know that I can get no 12s out of that 5, but I can get some 12s out of 50. And if my math, my multiplication table serve me correctly, I can get 4 12s out of 50, because 12 times 4 equals 48. So now I subtract, and I am left with 2. So my answer is 4 remainder of 2. All right. So now, number 7, a bookshelf in Mr. Shannon's class is 70 inches long. How many 4-inch binders can he fit on the bookshelf? All right, so this is asking us to take our 70 inches and to break that up in 4-inch increments. So I'm going to divide it by 4. Okay, so I can get 1 4 out of that 7, because 4 times 1 is 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3. And now I'm going to bring down my 0. So now I'm asking myself, how many 4s can I get out of 30? Well, this is going to be multiplication tables again. And I can get 7 out of that 30, because 4 times 7 is 28. All right, and 30 minus 28 gives me 2. All right, so we have 17 remainder of 2. That means we have 2 inches left over. That can't fit a whole binder. So I can only fit 17 binders on that one shelf of Mr. Shannon's. All right, so let's look at number 8. The student council sewed 645 rolls of wrapping paper for a fundraiser. If they raised $4,950, what was the cost of 1 roll of wrapping paper? Now, this one is going to be a lot of work, but that's okay. We believe in you. You can do it. This is going to require for us to use the toolbox strategy. So I don't know anyone who knows there are 645 times tables. So we are going to have to do some repeated addition and work some things out to make a toolbox.
And we said list the first 4 or 5.
Yep.
That's what I started with, and then they had to go from there.
Yep. So, and we have quite a lot to go from. We're going from 645 to 4,950. So we're actually going to make a nice long list for our toolbox. So 645 times 1 equals 645. And I'm going to go all the way down to, I think about, I'm going to try 8.
As we progressed, as you're writing that down, remember guys, we also looked at this and we said, well, what would 10 times the number be? And is that way too much? All right, well, what about 5 times the number? If we did half of that. So we use those strategies to try and help us guesstimate.
Right. All right, so now I'm going to start filling it in. Right? So times 4, 60. All right, times 5, 3,225, times 6, 3,870, times 7, 4,515, and then times 8, 5,160. Now I'm going to stop at times 8 because I don't need to, we're just looking for 4,950. I don't need to go further than that. So I know that 8 times is too much. So now I could go ahead and I could set up my problem. So I have $4,950. And I am going to, and I'm writing all crooked, but it's all right. I am going to divide that up by 645. And we're trying to get the price. And remember, the price is only 2 decimal places, too. So let's start. So I know that 645 can go into 4,950 up to 7 times without going over. All right? So I am going to put my, because it's a whole number, I'm going to put my decimal point there and make sure I pop a decimal point up there in the quotient to match. And then I know that I can get this 7 times.
And for some of mine, Miss Tay,
Mhm.
we had to do, remember my ticks from last year. So we put little tick lines because if we don't line them up, especially when we're starting to work with these decimal numbers, we make mistakes. And they were trying to put 7 here, and then there were zeros. So we line things up a little bit just because, every once in a while, math gets a little tricky.
Yeah, it's
A little
tricky. Just a
tricky.
little
It's a little
tricky.
tricky.
All right. So we have that we could get 7 rows. We can get 7 out of 4,950. And now we're going to multiply that. 645 times 7 is 4,515. We're going to subtract that now. You got to do some borrowing here. Right. All right. So we have 435, and we know that we cannot get 645 out of there, but that's okay. We still have to annex a 0 to bring down. So now we're asking how many 645s can I get out of 4,350? Well, let's look at our handy toolbox. This is too much, but this is just right. So we know that we could get 6. Because 645 times 6 is 3,870. All right, so now I'm going to subtract again, do some borrowing. All right.
It feels like you're going the
Ew.
wrong way, Miss Tay.
Yeah, it does. 400. All right. So now I have to try to see, I need to annex another 0 to bring on down. So now, how many 645s am I getting out of 4,800? Well, I can get 7 out of there. All right, so here's where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to tell you why I'm stopping. Because we're looking for a dollar amount that each roll of wrapping paper costs. And I know that there are 2 decimal places in when I'm writing money. So the cost of each of these is $7.67. But I just want to check something. I want to check and make sure I didn't have maybe another number that I needed to boost that $7.67 up to $7.68. So I'm going to see if I get a 5 or higher after that number. So how many 645s can I get out of 4,800? Well, I know I can get 7 because I have 4,515.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's a good thing you checked,
yeah,
Miss
it's a good
Tay.
thing I checked because
DJ
look at
Tay in the
that.
house.
Woo woo. All right, so this means that because I'm only using 2 decimal places, this 7 means I need to round that 7 up. So it's not $7.67, it's $7.68.
You know, you made some people upset there.
I
They
did.
had 767 as their answer, and they were like, yes! And then they were like,
Yeah,
wait!
exactly. All
Double
right.
check.
So let's look at number 9. A student bought 2 shirts at $15.25 each and 3 pairs of pants at $20.50 each. How much money did he spend in all? All right, so this means that I'm going to be doing some multiplication. So my first thing I'm going to multiply is my $15.25 times 2. Now remember, we're dealing with decimal multiplication, so we don't care where the decimal points are. We're just going to line those numbers up to the right-hand side. All right. All right, so now it's time to multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 5 is another 10. All right, and 2 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. All right, so now it's time for me to worry about the decimal place. I know that I have no decimal places here. That's a whole number. But I have 2 up here. 1, 2. So that means I move my decimal point 2 times. All right, so the shirts cost $30.50. So now it's time for me to find out the cost of the pants. $20.50 times 3 of those pairs that were bought. All right, so we know that this first number is this 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 0 is 0 plus that 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Now we know that he didn't pay $6,150 for 3 pairs of pants at $20.50 each. So we need to look at our decimal places. There are 2 here and none here. So that means I'm moving twice. 1, 2. All right, so now I know how much he spent for shirts and how much he spent on pants. And they want us to know how much he spent in all. So that means I have to add these 2 together.
Those decimals, guys.
Yeah, because now that we are adding, we have to line the decimals up. All right. And now I could go ahead and I could just line that decimal up down in my sum because they're all going to line up, okay? So 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10, so I'm carrying that 1 over. 1 plus 0 plus 1 equals 2. 3 plus 6 equals 9. So he paid $92. All right. So let's look at number 10. Number 10, division of fractions. Goody, goody. All right, so the tip that we gave you in our notes was that when you have mixed numbers, you need to first change them into improper fractions before you start anything. All right, so I'm going to look at my first,
We've got to make them mad.
Yeah, we got to make them mad. All right, so I'm going to, in my class, you guys know I call these the improper fractions, those big-headed babies. So, all right, so we have our 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So this fraction becomes 8 over 3. All right, and then over here we have 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 equals 6. So we have 6, and remember we put it back over that original denominator, 6 over 5. Okay, so now now that we have that all settled, we can now do our keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my first fraction. Then I'm going to change my sign, my operation, and then I'm going to flip my second fraction. Now I multiply straight across. 8 times 5 is 40. Then 3 times 6 is 18. All right, but this is not done yet because I can reduce this fraction by trying to figure out what is the greatest common factor between 40 and 18. So I'm going to do a quick ladder method so I can see what number goes into both of those. All right, so I know that 2 can go into 40 and it can go into 18. 2 goes into 40 20 times. 2 goes into 18 9 times. But Spin Master Traster, can I get any other factors out of 20 and 9?
No.
No, I can't think
You
of one.
can't.
No.
No.
So we are done there. So our GCF is simply 2. All right, so I'm going to divide my numerator by 2. And that 40 divided by 2 gives me 20. And 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. So my final answer is 20 over 9. All right, so now what is the least, number 11, what is the least common multiple of 8 and 11? All right, so guys, I'm going to do the listing method here. Let me tell you why I'm not going to do the ladder method. Because 8 and 11, they have nothing in common. No factors in common because 11 is a prime number. That means only 1 and 11 can go into it. So the ladder method, we're not going to mess with it. We're going to do the listing method only here. So remember, least common multiple. So I'm writing out I'm multiplying this 8. 8, 16, 24, 32. Oh, we got a lot of them. I'm going to stop there because I see something that I know 11 can go into. So I'm going to write out my multiples of 11 just to be safe. Yep.
There it is.
There it is. I have 88. That's the first number that they both have in common when multiplying. So my LCM of 8 and 11 equals 88. All right. So,
All right, we're going to switch it over, and now we are doing the second page of the study guide. We've got number 12. Write the number sentence that represents the model below. So we are looking at our in all portion, and when we look at what we have shaded, we have 1 whole, 2 whole, and a half. So 1, 2, and 1/2. So now we have 2 and 1/2. We're dividing that by this section that's shaded in, which is 1/2. So we have 2.5 divided by 1.5. So let's move this over because just like we did on that problem a few ago, we need to multiply, add, and then use our denominator. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And that stays over the denominator of 2. I'm going to rewrite my problem. Now I'm going to take it and use my keep, change, flip. Keep 5/2, change to multiplication, and flip to the reciprocal. We have 2 over 1. I'm going to do a little cross canceling. Is that all right with you, Miss Tay?
that's all right with me.
All right, so 5 and 1, we've got 2 prime numbers, or a prime number, nothing but 1 is going into those. We've got 2 and 2. I can divide both of those by 2. So 2 divided by 2 gives me 1. 2 divided by 2, again, gives me 1. So I have 5 over 1. My final answer is 5. Now we went a little further than we really needed to because this problem really was just asking write the number sentence that represents the model. Well, there's the model. We went ahead and solved it because we're good like that.
Whoop, whoop.
That's right. Number 13, we've got straight division. All right, so I'm going to write down DMSBR. I almost forgot my order. I had to look at my little sign to help me remember. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. I'm going to keep those there. I have 726, got here, divided by 6. And you know I like my little ticks. Apparently Miss Traster's classroom has ticks because we were always writing them. So 6 goes into 7 how many times? That would be 1 time. Subtract, 7 minus 6 gives you 1. Let's bring down the 2. Now we're asking how many times does 6 go into 12? We're starting over again. 6 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times 6 gives you 12. and subtract. And then I always say, oh, look, we came to 0, so we're finished. And then my class yells at me, no, we're not.
Not yet.
Not yet, because we have to bring down the 6, because you guys are so smart. 6 divided by 6, that will go in one time, and we subtract it out. So our final answer is 121. I'm going to circle it over here because it got mixed up top. All right, let's take a look at number 14. One bus can hold 45 passengers. How many buses will be needed for 210 passengers? So I have my total of 210. I'm dividing it by 45. All right, so we can do our toolbox for this one, or we can do some estimation. I'm going to write my toolbox. I like the toolbox idea. All right, I'm going to start with the first 5 and see if I need to go up higher than that. Let's write down what each of those equals. And again, you can use repeated addition. You can double and then double some more. Whatever trick helps you get there. All right, so how many times will 45 go into 2? That would be a big fat 0. How about 45 into 210? Again, 0. 45 into 210, let's use our handy dandy counter. Too many? 4 is what we've got. So 45 times 4 gives me 180. I'm subtracting 210 minus 180. Regrouping, and that gives me 3. Nope. Yep. 3. Sorry. I had to think about that for a moment. All right, so I have 30 left. I have 45. I'm not finished. I need to keep dividing. So I'm going to extend my line. I'm going to put a decimal so I can add my zeros, because remember, adding zeros after the decimal does not change my equation. So I have 300. I'm dividing that by 45. Uh-oh. I should have done a little bit more work maybe. Yep, I should have. Let's do 45 times 6, because I think it can go in more than 5 times. 225 plus 45 gives you 270. More than that, that's going to take me over 300. So I'm going to stop there. 45 will go into 306 times. Decimal. 270. Interesting. What do I end up with again? I end up with 30. So if I keep going, what am I going to end up with again? Well, let's bring our 0 down and check. How many times will 45 go into 300? That would be 6 yet again. So if I continue this pattern, I will continue, oops, sorry, I put my 0 in the wrong spot. I will continue getting 30. So this answer will actually be 4 with a repeating 6 as my decimal. Now, let's go back to our question. It says, how many buses will be needed for 210 passengers? Well, I know 45 will go into 4.6. How many 0.6 buses have you seen on the road? I'm hoping that would be no.
I haven't seen a
I'm hoping
0.6
none.
bus.
So we have to round this up. We're going to need 5 buses. 5 buses is your total. And I have added an extra S. It is the end of the day, and I've got all kinds of craziness going on. All right, so 5 buses is what we're going to need. All right, number 15. Find the difference between 42.4 minus 6.37. I've got adding and subtracting with decimals. I need to make sure that I have everything lined up. You know how picky I am about this. I like to put my decimals before I even start, because I don't want anything messing me up when I'm lining these up. So I'm taking 42 and 4/10, and I'm going to write that in around my already placed decimals. 6 and 37 hundredths. 6 is right next to my decimal. 37 hundredths. Then I can fill in my 0 for my place value holder. Now I can go ahead and do my straight subtraction. I'm doing some regrouping here. 10 minus 7 gives me 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 4, I need to regroup. 12 minus 6 is 6, and 3. So we have 36 and 3 hundredths is your final answer. Make sure you line those decimals up with adding and subtracting. Question number 16. Hamburgers and buns. We have all these questions. Ooh, you know what? Miss Tay, she's flagging me down.
Yeah.
What do we need, Miss Tay? DJ
need-
Tay, we need?
Yeah, we need some codes.
We need another code. So we're going to stop right there, and we're going to bring our next code in. code number 2, which is the last letter of your first name. Last letter of your first name. So if it's A, F, or J, volt is your word. BLN, spins. COQ, cosmic. DMS, you're wild. ER, or you, you're mad. GTV, you're a master. H, X, and K, slammin'. And I, P, and Y is beat. WZ, we haven't forgotten about you. You're loco. All right, so let me show those one more time. Going over there. All right, so this is the first letter of your first.
The last letter.
Sorry,
of your
last
first
letter
name.
of your first name. I can't spell today. I can't read today. Oh my gracious. Last letter of your first name. All right, DJ Tay, what do you have?
I have mad because I have Cheravante, but I'm going to go by Tay, and so that's an E. So I got mad.
Guess what? Apparently we're both twins today because I end in an E, so I am also mad. I'm Master Mad.
I am DJ Mad.
All right, so
All right,
there's
guys.
those codes. Let's get back to the math. All right, so number 16, we have hamburgers come in packs of 12 and buns come in packs of 8. What is the least number of packs of each product that can be purchased to have an equal number of hamburgers and buns with none left over? So we know we have packs of 12, again, packs of 8. So with all of those clues, they're telling me I need to find my LCM. So I'm finding the LCM of 8 and 12. So we can do this as our listing. I like listing for these types of problems because I think it really does help. We've got buns and buns and hamburgers. Jeez Louise. Hamburgers. All right, so hamburgers come in packs of 12. Buns come in packs of 8. So let's go ahead and start listing these out. 12, 24, 36, 48. I'm going to stop there because I think I'm going to be able to find some least common multiples before we get too far. 8, 16, 24. Oh, looky there. I found them.
Match.
There's 24. There's 24. So we have to remember what this is asking. I need 24 hamburgers. I need 24 buns. But we want to know what is the least number of packs of each product that we have to buy. So let's look at these hamburgers. The hamburgers come in packs of 12. Well, to get to 24 hamburgers, I need 1 pack. I need 2 packs. So for my hamburgers, I need 2 packs. And for the buns, let's check that. I'm counting by 8s, going to 24. 8, 16, 24. That gives me 1, 2, 3 packs of buns. All right, so you've got 2 packs of hamburgers, 3 packs of buns. For those of you who chose to do it as a ladder method, let's go ahead and list that out as well. I have 8, I have 12. What can I pull out of both of those? Well, I can pull 4 out of both. So 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. Can I go any further with that? Nope, I cannot. So I'm finding the least common multiple, which is
All of them.
All right, so I've got 4 times 2 times 3, which will give me my LCM. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 gives me
24.
24. So again, that's telling me how many hamburgers and buns in all I need. Now I have to see how many bags I need or how many packs I need. So to get to 24, again, I'm still going to have to count by 8s. 8, 16, 24, that gets me to my 3 packs. And then counting by 12s for the hamburgers, 12, 24 to get to 2 packs. So it was a 2-step problem. You really had to think that one through. All right, question number 17. Oh, we've got, oops, sorry. How about I come back down to 17? There it is, number 17. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 add-ins that we need to put in through here. I'm going to go ahead and start lining up my decimals because I am persnickety like that. All right, so I have $1.74. I have $5.25. So far, so good. I have $0 31 cents. And then I have $25. This is showing me $25. If I asked you to show me what that would look like as $25.05, where would that decimal go? It would go right here. So I need to make sure that when I'm listing my number, I'm putting it down in the correct place value spot. Then I can go ahead and add straight through. 5 plus 5 is 10. I have 7 and 3 is 10, 12, 13. Regroup my 1, 10, 11 is 12, and then 3. $32.30. That is your total. Make sure you have those lined up. If you didn't get it right, check your decimals. Number 18, write the integer, positive or negative whole number, that represents a gain, there's my clue word we talked about, 30 yards on a play in football. So, we got lots of football coming up this weekend.
Yes.
I know my Dolphins are playing this weekend. Falcons are playing this weekend.
Steelers.
All right, the Steelers are playing too. All right,
Woo-woo.
so we hope, whichever team you're going for, we hope that they have a lot of gains
Yes.
in yardage. That's what we're hoping for. So if they have a gain, is that a positive or a negative relationship with their number?
It sounds pretty positive.
Sounds pretty positive to me too. So if I have to write the integer that represents a gain of 30 yards, I'm showing that as plus 30. Go Dolphins. I would love to see that.
Steelers.
All right, all right. Number 19, Mr. Smith bought a 12-pound turkey. We got lots of turkey happening in
Yeah.
6th grade. And his turkey has a total cost of $14.45. How much money did he pay for each pound of the turkey? Per pound. So we have a total. Last time we didn't have a total. We needed a total. This time we have a total. And we know that he bought a turkey that weighed 12 pounds. So I have to take his total and I'm dividing it by 12. So let's go ahead and set that one up. We have $14.45. We're dividing that by 12. No decimal on the outside. I do have a decimal on the underneath. So I'm sticking it straight up, raising that roof. Put my ticks here because I love my little ticks. All right, so how many times does 12 go into 1? It does not, Mr. Esther. Nope, it does not. But 12 goes into 14 one time. 14 minus 12, that's giving me 2. Bring down the 4. I know my 12 times table, so I know that 12 will go into 24 2 times. I'm all done. No, you're not. Bring down the 5. Okay, well, how many times will 12 go into 5?
Big
Crickets.
fat
Yeah.
0.
12 will not go into 5. This is that one that caught many of you before. You have to put the 0 down first before you can bring down the 0. Now, this is just like the other problem because, again, we are looking at money. So I need to make sure that I have 2 spots after the decimal. But in order to know what's happening to this spot, I need my third number. I need my tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I need my thousandths number so I can figure it out. So how many times will 12 go into 50? Well, 12, 24, 36, 48. It'd be 60, which would be too many. So I'm doing 4 times. Does 4 change $1.20 to $1.21, or does it keep it $1.20? It keeps it at $1.20. So he paid $1.20 per pound. There we go.
Not as good of a deal as I got.
No, you were definitely the wiser shopper on
Yeah,
that one.
he's got an expensive turkey there.
Yes, he does. All right, so number 20, briefly write a situation that can be described using a positive integer. All right, so there are so many that we could choose from. Positive meaning that we are increasing, right? So let's see, we haven't talked about Mrs. Clark yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
No, we have not. We love Mrs. Clark. We love all of our
Ooh, we
6th
love
grade
y'all.
teachers. But let's go with Mrs. Clark. So, Mrs. Clark, she has a little tutoring going on the side, right?
Nice little
do that.
hustle.
Little side hustle. So, Mrs. Clark earned, one of those good keywords, earned, that would be a positive, that would be using a positive integer, $40 tutoring Lily. Now, those of you who have Mrs. Clark, you're going to know why that's kind of funny. The rest of you, you'll just have to find out someday, I guess. All right. We have reached the end, which means we've got one more code for you.
One more code.
One last
Just
code.
One last code.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Month of your birthday. So, if you are a January or July, graph is yours. February, August, you got digits. No February or August birthday. All right, March, September, equation. April, October, your ratio. May and November, your fraction. June and December, you're a decimal. I like it. I like it. So again, let's bring it down in case you missed it the first time. Coming through, coming through. This is again the month of your birthday for code number 3.
When's
I
your
kinda like
birthday, Spin Master Traster?
My birthday is Cinco de Mayo. I am May 5th,
Woo!
so I am a fraction. So that gives me, I gotta write it down on the bottom. I've got a new DJ name this year. All right, my new DJ name is Master Mad Fraction.
Nice.
Master Mad Fraction. What about you? Oh, you
All
got
right.
mine.
So,
Oh, I'm
so
angry.
my birthday is in February. February 12th, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Woo,
There
woo.
we go. Little
All right.
history in this
Hey,
one.
we both got a little holiday
track, yeah, we
birthday.
do.
Nice. All right. So that means mine is digits. So I love DJ Tay, but this is kind of hot too. This is
Mad
like
Digits.
DJ Mad digits.
Oh, it's a little fade.
Oh.
I like it. So we hope that you enjoy your math DJ name.
Yes, you gotta tell us you gotta tell us on Monday
Yes.
what yours is. These
This-
are due after the test. You have till Tuesday to watch that video. We even suggest watching it again.
Oh yes.
And then you have your codes and you turn that in for a grade, guys.
Yep, you will be keeping your study guide. So as we've gone through these, you should be checking yours. If you had mistakes, go back through them and check them again. If you need to watch it again, go back through and watch it again.
Yeah.
But these are due to your teachers by Tuesday for grade book credits.
Yes. We're excited. You guys are gonna rock this out.
We're
It's
gonna
your
rock
first
it.
test. We believe in you.
Yep. We'll see
All
you
right.
Monday.
Bye, Tap Tigers.